Real News. Trump TV has launched a new series called Real News. Watch this clip.
More great economic news on Friday. The July jobs report added a better than expected 209,000 jobs. Overall, since the president took office, President Trump has created more than 1 million jobs. The unemployment rate is at a 16-year low, and consumer confidence is at a 16-year high, all while the Dow Jones continues to break records. President Trump has clearly steered the economy back in the right direction. On Wednesday, the president introduced the RAISE Act. For decades, a steady rise in immigration has depressed the wages of American workers. The RAISE Act will increase wages, decrease poverty, and save the taxpayers billions. Americans deserve a raise, and President Trump is finally putting the American worker first.
Real news or something else?
Real propaganda, if you ask me. In fact, when I first saw it, I thought about his praise of strongmen around the country, or the world rather. I thought of a propaganda machine. In all fairness, it's a nice piece, it's a good piece, but it does have his name. It's campaign kind of driven, but it has the graphics of a legitimate kind of TV media source.
What do you think?
Look, the president, I would not find it uncommon for the president to create any type of propaganda to swing his way. He's been doing this the whole time. This is nothing new. I think the conversation should be had for some of the things that he has accomplished, which largely we haven't been talking about. And so, yeah, I think to his credit, this is not something uncommon for him.
But the name is Real News, if you will, and that is misleading because he's created the media as his enemy, if you will.
That are using no sources.
And that's
what's the single biggest thing the president has accomplished in your estimation?
I mean, 64% low on the border. You can talk, he kept his word to the Paris climate deal. He's got, for the first time, people talking about bipartisanship on healthcare, whether it's through failures or not. People are saying bipartisanship.
They failed it. It's embarrassing, if you will. Of course they're talking about bipartisanship. The fact that people are working together in Congress. When's the last time, or they're agreeing to? When's the last time? Let's not get
Is there anything that Donald Trump has done that you would consider a plus?
I think no, actually, because he steps on his message constantly. The Republicans are at civil war with themselves. The Democrats have been talking about bipartisanship. The Republicans certainly haven't, and no piece of major legislation has been put through, primarily because Donald Trump either doesn't know what he's doing, or he steps on the message, or he sends out a tweet, and it's just one thing after another.
Give you the last word.
200 days, man. The man has had 200 days to become a businessman, to become a president.
You can't learn to be a president on the job.
All right, 200 days. Well, what are we looking for, say, in the next 200 days?
Well, we'll like to see what happens with healthcare. He's got big role to fill with budget. So I mean,
confident about tax reform, confident about infrastructure?
Well, I like to see more on tax reform, that's for sure. We've been very lost on that so far.
And ironically, that might be the bipartisan issue along with infrastructure that gets both parties together if he steps out of the way.
Okay.